All right, we might get started. Thank you, everyone, for coming. If we can stick to the topic of the chapter as we go through the discussion, and then at the end, we can open it up to a masterminding session if anyone would like to stay on the line. Who'd like to have the pleasure
This is a great chapter.
Yes, sure is.
This is chapter 14.
That's right.
Nicole?
Yep.
I can start if you like.
Thanks, Gloria.
It's Gloria. Okay. Whether you change your location or not, you must direct your present actions to the business in which you are presently engaged. You can get into the business you want by making constructive use of the business you are already established in by doing your daily work in a certain way. And insofar as your business consists in dealing with other people, whether directly, by telephone, or by letter, the key thought of all your efforts must be to convey to their mind the impression of increase. Increase is what all men and all women are seeking. It is the urge of the formless, intelligent within them to find fuller expression. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. All human activities are based on the desire for increase. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure, more life. Every living thing is under that necessity for continuous advancement. Where increase of life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once. People instinctively know this, and hence they are forever seeking more. This law of perpetual increase is set forth by Jesus in the parable of the talents. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who has not shall be taken away even that which he has. The normal desire for increased wealth is not an evil or reprehensible thing. It is simply the desire for a more abundant life. And because it is the deepest instinct of their natures, all men and women are attracted to an individual who can give them more of the means of life. In following that certain way, as described in the foregoing pages, you are getting continuous increase for yourself, and you are giving it to all with whom you deal. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Okay, I'll let somebody else read. Is that okay? That's at 37.
Okay, I can go.
Over.
Okay.
Okay, be sure of this and convey assurance of this fact to every man, woman, and child with whom you come in contact. No matter how small the transaction, even if it is only selling a stick of candy to a little child, put into this action the thought of increase and make sure that the customer is impressed with that thought. Convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, so that all people shall receive the impression that you are an advancing person and that you advance all who deal with you. Also, give people who you meet socially the thought of increase. You can convey this impression by holding the unshakable faith that you are in the way of increase, and by letting this faith inspire, fill, and permeate every action. Do everything you do in the firm conviction that you are an advancing personality and that you are giving advancement to everybody. Feel that you are getting rich and that in so doing you are making others rich, that you are conferring benefits on all. Do not boast or brag of your success or talk about it unnecessarily. True faith is never boastful. Whenever you find a boastful person, you find one who is secretly doubtful and afraid. Simply feel the faith and let it work out in every transaction. Let every act and tone and look express the quiet assurance that you are getting rich, that you are already rich. Words will not be necessary to communicate this feeling to others. They will feel the sense of increase when they are in your presence and will be attracted to you. You must so impress others that they will feel that in associating with you, they will get increase for themselves. See that you give them a use value greater than the cash value you are taking from them. If you always take an honest pride in doing this and let everybody know it, you will always have customers. People will go where they are given increase, and the supreme power, which desires increase in everything and which knows everything, will move you toward men and women who have never heard of you. Your business will increase rapidly, and you will be surprised at the unexpected benefits which will come to you. You will be able to make larger combinations to secure greater advantages and go on into a more congenial vocation if you desire to do so. Guess it's time for me to hand it off.
Okay, I can go. However, in doing all this, you must never lose sight of your vision of what you want or of your faith and purpose. Let me here give you another word of caution in regard to motives. Beware of the insidious temptation to seek power over other people. Nothing is so pleasant to the uninformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power or domination over others. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world. For countless ages, kings and lords have drenched the earth with blood in their battles to extend their dominions. They have not been engaged in an effort to seek more life for all, but to get more power for themselves. Today, the main motive of the business and industrial world is the same. People marshal their armies of dollars and lay waste the lives and hearts of millions in the same mad scramble for power over others. Commercial kings, like political kings, are inspired by the lust for power. Look out for the temptation to seek authority, to become a master, to be considered as one who is above the common herd, and to impress others by lavish display. The mind that seeks for mastery over others is a competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not the creative one. In order to master your environment and your destiny, it is not at all necessary that you should rule over your fellows. And indeed, when you fall into the world's struggle for high places, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment, and getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Beware of the competitive mind. No better statement of the principle of creative action can be formulated than the favorite declaration of the late Golden Rule Jones. What I want for myself, I want for everybody.
Thank
The
you.
end.
So question 1 asks us, why do all people desire increase?
I got that line 10. It is the formless intelligent within them to find fuller expression. It's inherent in all nature.
Okay.
It's natural, right?
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say too. That it's just natural to want to grow as a part of growing.
Well, we're spiritual beings. And as a spiritual being, we want to continuously grow.
Yep.
Yeah, in line 20 it says, every living thing is under that necessity for continuous advancement, which is more life, right? Where increase of life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once.
Yeah, so we're either growing or dying.
Right, right. Oh, and then next it says this law of perpetual increase is set forth by Jesus. So it's definitely natural, right?
Yeah. Does anyone know the story of the talents?
No.
I can't remember it
Nope.
either. I meant to look it up, but I can't remember how it goes. That'll have to be homework.
It did something. Somebody got. I think it did something like there were 2 brothers, and all the 2 brothers got an acre, and then God said, "Okay, I give you an acre, so do something with it." And then the first one said they cultivated it, and the second one didn't do anything. They just kept it and didn't do anything. And then God gave the second one who didn't do anything, he took the acre and gave it to the other one.
Ah. Yeah.
So if you don't, so the story is basically if you don't cultivate your talents that you were given at birth, then it will be taken from you.
Yep.
Sorry.
That makes sense. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the urge of the formless within us seeking fuller expression. So they weren't seeking fuller expression, so they weren't fulfilling the urge of the universe. So question 2 asks, what assurance should you seek to convey to others?
What assurance?
I had written down there line 34.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've written line 35. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. And then line 45, you are an advancing person and advance all who deal with you.
Isn't it also translated as giving others a sense of increase, giving them increase in some way?
Yep.
Yeah. And in line 48, it says that you can convey this impression by holding the unshakable faith that you are on the way of increase, and by letting this faith inspire, fulfill, and permeate every action. So it's energy as well as physically showing people that you're giving them an increase when you come into contact with them, putting that vibe across to them, I guess.
What is how would you define it as examples of giving increase? You're giving others increase. What does that necessarily convey in terms of examples of the different ways that people give increase?
Well, I think about like a call we had recently where Nicole was talking about her job and how she goes that extra mile with the people at where you work, and just that extra mile, the greeting and walking out with the people, you know, they go away feeling like, you know, they're important to her. Whereas if you go to another daycare, you pick up your child and it's like, okay, bye. You know, she went that extra mile and made the people feel good. That's what I think of my husband in sales. And he views sales, it's not about him getting a sale. It's about giving the customer what he wants, if he can. And if not, he guides them to someone who can. So it's that increase where, you know, like they're you know, you're not out for yourself to some degree. You're out to make them feel better.
Yeah, so even just giving them, listening to people and listening to their story and you know, trying to help them just by being a good listener, and I would think would even qualify as giving.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Cheryl. I have recently had an experience where I had given value to a few different individuals for two different kind of reasons. I gave them some valuable resources, resource information that they were seeking me out for, but it was the way it happened. It was just through a conversation, and by my giving, you know, so much valuable resource information to these individuals, they were so grateful that they turned around and gave me a donation gift out of appreciation. I thought, wow, how do I do more of that? You know, that was, you know, a surprise.
Callie.
Well, and you did it with not expecting in return.
Yeah.
Yourself, you shared.
Yeah.
Just going to mute you for a second. Sorry, no, it's not you. Not sure where that's coming from.
Oh, that must be me. I guess you can hear me. This is Tim. I'm sorry.
To hear a cow or something.
Sounds like a sick cow.
No, I'm sorry. It's a little neck massage. I have this Bluetooth headset for my cell phone, which is ringing in the background. I'm sorry. I thought I had it turned off. But just giving an idea of increase is also, it has to do with our demeanor and how we carry ourselves, our body posture, that we only want to interact with people who are positive and upbeat and optimistic and conduct themselves as if they are going somewhere, that they are able to be wealthy and become more wealthy, that they have positivity, just an aura, an energy, a charisma about them. It's not just also interacting with clients on a fair and equitable basis, in the sense that not driving hard bargains or sharp bargains, as Napoleon Hill would say. But I think this idea of increase is generally being around positive, optimistic people that have a demeanor of success about them as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where this chapter is really heading. And like in line 63, it says they'll feel the sense of increase when they're in your presence and will be attracted to you. So it is about having that essence about you, that you know you're going places, you know what you're about. You are already there in your mind and you're living that way. You're living in a certain way in every moment, and people who are around you sense that. And they can feel that, you know, this person's going somewhere. I want to be around them because I want to, you know, get on their shirt tails and go with them.
I think it also has to do with energy. So the biggest difference is you feel there, like the two people. There are two types of people. You feel that this people is costing you energy, and this people is giving you energy. So you don't know what it is, but the person, when you are in their neighborhood, etc., you feel energized. That is because probably that person is also, you know, empower. They empower you. They want to listen to you, or they are like giving. They are giving. They are not taking. So I think also something like if you should be a person that are positive, like Tim said, but you are giving. You are full of energy. You are radiating energy to other people.
Exactly.
Good point.
And that would be vibrating at a higher level, right?
Yes, because you yourself are searching for a higher vibration. You see, so you yourself constantly advancing means like the impression of increase. That means that you yourself are increasing your level of energy constantly. You see, you're pushing your level of energy. You're pushing your frequency. So then people, you can do it alone. You can say, okay, look at me, I'm so great. But you can also do it and you say, okay, if you come in my neighborhood, I'm going to help you raise your energy. That's what I'm all about. I'm raising energy myself, and I'm raising your energy also. I don't care. I don't push you down. I raise your energy.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's what he's referring to in line 54 when he says that you are conferring the benefits to all. So if you're radiating that energy, and we know that we do get that energy off other people, and like you were saying, Rooney, when you're around certain people, it just drags you down. When you're around other people, it really brings you up and makes you feel positive and makes you want to get out there and do something. So we need to be that person.
Mm-hmm. And it says also, Nicole, do not boast or brag of your success or talk about unnecessarily. True faith is never boastful. So it is a balance, eh? You don't radiate. I would say don't radiate like, okay, I take you with me. I have enough energy. I take you with me. I do not feel competitive. There is abundance of energy. Here is some energy, you see? Because if you focus, like, look at me, I'm great. I'm getting everything I want, and you, oh, I don't listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's also, I mean, to me, there's also a difference between, like, if you did something and you're really proud of yourself, and you know what I mean? Like, you can say, you know, I did this and I'm really happy and I'm proud of myself, versus the boasting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, because people do get encouragement from your success and they feel that positiveness coming from you. Because if you're talking about how you don't feel very well and, you know, the bad things that have happened to you, they're not going to be very inspired. But when they hear you talking about the things that you've accomplished, then that's more inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as it's not the boasting, the bragging part. or coming from that standpoint.
And I think one thing I would like to say is that the reason why you need to do that, or one of the reasons, is because everything positive in the universe you will attract everything positive in the universe. So he's saying like people will go where where they are given increase, and the Supreme, which desires increase in all and which knows it all, will move towards man and woman towards you. So you just do it, and because everyone who is positive will be connected and will be moved towards you. Because if you are positive, then more people positive will come to you. So there is a reason. You do it, of course, for yourself and for just because you are doing it. But there is a reason that when you are positive, more positive people will come to you.
Yeah, and I guess you can keep yourself in check, like with the bragging side of things. You can keep yourself in check by seeing what your motives are. What's my motive for talking about what I'm talking about? Is it to inspire the other person, or is it just to make myself feel better? So, yeah, just knowing what your motives are and knowing what your personal goals are, and the reason why you want to help other people is not just to get what you want, but just to give that impression of increase.
I have one thing, also an image for you guys. It doesn't take a candle, any energy to light another candle. You see, so if you are a candle and you bring light in the darkness, it doesn't take you any energy to light another candle. You can light thousand other.
That's a very good analogy. I like that one. That, you know what, and that goes with the theory that, there's endless abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's not scarcity. Like, oh, I can only light up one more candle and then I'm going to die. No, there's endless energy there, endless abundance. I like that. That's a great example.
Yeah.
The next question asks us, what temptation is spoken of in this chapter?
Seek power over others.
Yeah. That's everywhere, isn't it?
Yes. Just like they said in businesses and in politics.
Yeah.
And relationships.
That's true too. It's interesting how in line 85, he puts it as there being nothing so pleasant to the uninformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power, because the uninformed mind doesn't know that what they give out is what they get back in return. So it's when you understand that the more you give another person, the more you encourage and build another person, the more of that you're going to get back yourself. But if you're seeking to have power over other people, you're just going to disempower yourself.
Well, then you're going from an abundance to a scarcity mentality.
Yeah.
There's his massage.
I think that temptation is basically you wanna get from others something. It's like competition. So if your motive is to just get your dollars and the motive should be you want increase, you want to do good, you want to use your passion and your everything you have to do good. So you have to be increasing life, isn't it? You have to be increase yourself, and you have to move it to the good, for the good. So if you use that power to dominate others and to control the lives of others, then you die basically, or then the candle the candle won't light up. The candle is dead. But if you use your power to light others, then you are contributing to life. You are contributing to increase in everything, and then you will kick a kind of maybe a reinforcing thing, because everybody who's doing good will come to you, and you will be stronger. So if your motive is to do good for the other people, to increase, to improve other lives, then you are okay. But if your motive becomes like, okay, I'm so big now, I wanna control the life of other people, then you are not increasing the lives of other people. You are just decreasing the life of other people, and then you are decreasing your own life, because you are them and they are you. So it's about you doing. I think the magic thing is also you are increasing your own life, but you are their life, and their life is yours. So you are individually, from your perspective, you are doing all the thing, your passion, etc. But you are actually, by helping others, you are helping yourself, because you are them.
Yeah, we're not doing our job of expanding the universe if we're causing other people to shrink.
Yeah.
Then you're back to power, seeking power over others.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure about this next question. How much power do you want?
How much power do you want?
I want to rule the world.
Yeah. But you already rule it. How much more can you get? You already do it.
It's never enough.
You are already ruling it.
I found that question odd too, because I wasn't sure if they're challenging us to look within to see in what areas of our lives are we competitive and not creative.
Yeah, I think that it takes more power over ourselves to be in a creative mind because of the way we've been raised and our belief systems. So it takes a while for us to kind of turn our thinking around to the giving mindset rather than what can I get mindset.
Yeah.
Nicole, I want all the power to control myself.
Yes. Yes.
I want no power. I want no power to control anything outside me.
That's true.
I want to focus all my power to control my mind and control my own universe.
That's the best way to use it.
Yeah, because boy, that takes some power, doesn't it?
That takes some power. It's very easy to. It's very easy to use power. You know, the Mahatma Gandhi and all those people. They basically use their power to control their now. So if you use all your power to control the now, to be in the now and to control, you know, to create, basically, to create your own life, and not the power to put on other people. If you put your power, you can to just use it in this moment. Then I think then you are looking, focus your power inside, not outside.
Yeah.
And in general, that's a great perspective to have if you're a solopreneur. But if in your workplace, if you have employees or you have people working under you, or you're supposed to guide and supervise others, there has to be some exercise of power, some exercise of control. Ideally, you'd have self-driven, self-motivated, independent employees working underneath you. But the fact of the matter is in the real world, that doesn't happen 100% of the time. So it needs to be taken in context as well. That some people lack the wherewithal to get to the level where they can be independent and use their own critical sense of judgment. So some people perform better being directed, and they're happy with that lot in life, having someone give them very explicit directions and having control over them in their work life. And that's okay for them. That's their choice.
I don't view that so much as power. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a supervisor doing his job. I view it more like if you have two peers and one's trying to, like get extra, recognition by what, you know what I mean? By stabbing people in the back, or, because you're right, there's always going to be people who need some direction, and there's some people who are going to be very self-directed. And a good leader, or, a good leader will recognize that in their employees and nurture them accordingly. At least that was my experience when I worked.
We tried to say, if you are a leader and you create other leaders, then you are a really good leader, because a leader doesn't create followers, a leader creates other leaders. So like the candle, even if you have employees, but those people, they are like you. They have the same power as you. They have only another position. So if you use your light to enlighten them so that they can be leaders, then there is no need to put any power on them. And because they will be inspired. The only thing is they want to be inspired by you, with your vision, with what you see. And when you bring that energy to them, that frequency to them, then the only thing what happens is they light their candle, and they can put up a stronger fire than you would ever imagine. So what I'm saying is, the great enterprises and the great leaders, what they do is they do not put any power. They just inspire their employees, and then each employee becomes like self-directed. I want to work this. I want to finish this thing because this is my passion. So that can be another situation when you have a company. You just inspire the other people and then enlighten them.
And what book did we read it in about giving your people that are under your employ the ladder to climb to their greatest heights as well? There was, I don't know if it was this book or was it Think and Grow Rich?
It would have been Think and Grow Rich, and Andrew Carnegie did that a lot, and he also had a lot of people in training for his own position all the time, and he had a huge inner circle of employees that he gave large responsibilities to and nurtured their growth within the company. So he was a big advocate for that type of nurturing of his employees.
So there's another perfect example of the giving increase to others, right?
Yeah, giving them a sense of worth as well.
Exactly.
There is a book called Don't Do Anything. So it is a book for leadership, for leaders. And it is basically, you go to work, don't do anything. Just get out of the way of the people, and then be there, be inspired, be there. Don't do anything as a leader. So don't take up any task, etc. Just be the leader and be the role model.
Yeah.
That's a new way of look. I don't say it's a better way, but it is a new way of looking at it, because what I realized is that you cannot put any power on. You can put power on people, but the power is just temporarily. They will break out and they will try to go against you or whatever. And basically what you're doing is you are putting the energy, you're fueling the energy constantly to them. But if you enlighten them, inspire them, like why are you going to this work? What is your passion? Do you want a car? Do you want, maybe you want to build a house? How can I help you? If you help me build this company, then you will get your house and your kid will go to college. So when you find out what their inspiration is, why they are there, then sometimes you will realize that there is no power needed.
Yeah, that reminds me of
what I'm trying to do is I have one virtual assistant right now, and I'm trying to do exactly that. I'm just telling her, this is my business, this is my plan, and if I'm a millionaire, you are a millionaire. Just like that. If I'm a millionaire, you are a millionaire. So let's make us together a millionaire, whatever. You see, so a millionaire is just a number, but it just says like, I'm an advancing man, and when you work with me and you are an advancing lady, and then you will advance also. If you are in my neighborhood, we will advance. So I'm not here to say like you are the virtual assistant and you are lower than me. No, I need you as much as you need me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was reading a book the other day that was talking about that as well, which you reminded me of. And he was talking about Richard Branson, and that's what he does. He just hires people who know what they're doing, have an ambition to achieve something, and then he gets out of their way. So he allows them to have their power in their role to create what they want for themselves. Obviously, he picks and chooses them accordingly beforehand, but just giving them that power to say, here's your role. If you build it and make it into this vision that we can see, then you have the free reins to go for it. And that's why he's so successful.
And what I heard is also he looks for people with better than him in more skills. You see, like a graphic designer who's better than him, whatever. Just he doesn't look for people who has less skills than him. Because exactly. Richard Branson, he cannot I think he was dyslexic and everything. So he realized a lot that what his passion is, he can bring people together with a vision, etc. But he's looking for everybody does something better than him.
Yep. And Andrew Carnegie was the same. He didn't know anything about the making or marketing of steel, but he employed people who did. And his job was to just have them work together in perfect harmony. They had all the know-how and they did all the work. He just kept the harmony between them and kept them encouraged to want to put their best foot forward in their job so they could get what they wanted out of it.
And isn't that the sign of a good leader? They know what their strengths are and where their weaknesses are, and they hire accordingly. So they surround themselves with people in their areas of weaknesses, you know, to have the synergy.
Yeah, because, you know, there's nothing worse than having the boss looking over your shoulder all day, you know, telling you all the fine points of what you are and aren't doing correctly. That's not a nice situation to be in.
I have one of those.
But I also wanted to know, Nicole, there are probably other questions also, but I wanted to I would desire to hear from Tim also how he thought about, you know, power, because he said yeah, there are some situations where you have to enforce power, and that might be also, you know, in your work, but it might be also with your spouse. Like the situation, when are you going to put power? Is it working? Can you put power on your situation outside you to change something, or should you focus on yourself and on your mindset? Because it doesn't always work like that, but most situation, my experience is, and when you put the power to yourself and you change, the situation is the same, but your perspective changes. You see, so sometimes you really have to put power outside, etc. But that's temporarily. So you cannot change the world by my theory is you cannot change the world by putting a lot of force outside the world. This book is about working on yourself, isn't it? Working on your mind, working on the creativity for yourself. And they just say, don't put anything like outside you. Don't control other people. That's what I learned. But maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
I don't
think you're wrong.
But it is very difficult because they teach us all, the only thing you can do is put force. I have a book and it is Power versus Force. And force doesn't help you anything. You see, so if you force something, you force the situation, it doesn't work. It will work against you, because whatever force you put on life, it will put the force back on you. You see, so I'm very careful of putting force on life, because it will go against you. Everything you put force, it will come in your face again. So the power is basically radiating at a higher frequency, looking at the situation and say, you know, what is the best thing I can change right now to change the situation?
Yeah, I guess in that sense there's a difference between force and power.
And it's a different definition than power that they talk about in here.
Yeah.
Having power over others.
Yeah.
And again, what book was it that we read where you should not try to exert any force over anyone because you think you know what's best for them, because you don't?
Yeah. I think
how about with children?
I guess that's different, eh?
Yeah, I think they need a little bit of guidance until they're old enough to. And
agree.
Still, we do teach by example and by our own actions, and that speaks louder than words, even with our own children.
Good point.
And a lot of what I'm reading is saying, let go a little bit. Let them, teach them and let them experience it. We tend to hold on too tight, but I think that's got a lot to do with the world we live in at the moment. But teaching them that they have a certain amount of control over that as well.
They have to learn that there's a consequence for every action, or every action has cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
So they have so if we protect them too much, they won't. I know I did that a lot.
You end up crippling them. Yeah, and then you end up crippling them. So.
Yeah, it's not sad. You think that you're being a good parent, but you're really not.
It's a hard balance.
Yeah, it really is.
It is very, very complicated. This is Tim, and that's in parenting, that's one of the most difficult decisions on a day-by-day or hour-by-hour basis, is whether to let them take the risk when you know they're going to get hurt, or whether to try and help them stop and think about the consequences of the decisions that they're about to make without having a damaging impact on their enthusiasm, their self-confidence, their sense of adventure, their open-mindedness, looking at the world through the eyes of amazement of a child is great. But when they want to play ball in the street with a blindfold on, you kind of have to point out to them, maybe the consequences are more drastic than you're forecasting. So,
Exactly.
and it's the same when you have lower level employees or younger employees or employees that just want a basic clerical role. Is that it's not, I guess in that sense, it's not using power over them in the sense that Waddles is writing about here. But if you own a small business, you can only take so much risk with the payroll and let people learn from their mistakes and let people take initiative. And you have to, when they're younger or they're newer employees or they're less experienced or you don't have evidence that you should have complete confidence in their judgment, you try to exercise some control and give them some initiative to experiment a little bit in little bite-sized chunks that are manageable and controllable and won't put you out of business.
Yeah.
This has been a great call. I'm sorry that I have to exit early this afternoon. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Bye, then.
Yeah, I have to go soon. I have 5 more minutes.
So the last question asks us, why do you want power? We've kind of been covering that a little bit. Is it to give it to others?
Well, I think it's to be able to act in this, to have the power to act in a certain way, right? Like I'm reading that book, Nicole, right now, Your Power, that you recommended by Rhonda Burns, and I think it is having power, that knowing that you have power to create your own life. So to me, that's what I'm gathering from. Why do you want power? How much power do you want? Recognizing and knowing and having faith that you have the power to create your own life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's nothing wrong with wanting the power to be able to do that, to be able to control your own thoughts and create your own life, as long as you're not exerting that power over someone else, but helping them with that power.
And giving up your power. giving
up your power, right.
That is something that we do a lot, isn't it? Yeah. Especially when we lack confidence in something.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I want to ask, have any of you benefited from the practicing to recite that confidence formula statement?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you say that again, Kelly?
Have you benefited from using the confidence formula that was recommended by Bob for people to practice?
I don't know that I could say anything concrete, but I do think that since I've started studying, I'm definitely more confident now. Whether it's a direct result of reading that every day. Of course, I've fallen off the wagon on a little bit on that too, which I got to get back to. But I think all of this is.
It's starting to show for you anyway, in terms of having the different energy behind a different mindset. Pressed.
I think I only have I might have a little bit problem because the problem is that I'm tending I'm starting to see something like this, that there is no difference between dreams and reality. So that might be a little bit confusing, but it's like before I used to say, like before the training or reading the book, it was like, okay, I have my dreams in the future. Reality, it's different. But now I'm focusing like, hey, these dreams they are real. So the only thing, I don't see them yet, but they are real. So the confidence, the confidence is moving towards like, there is no difference between dreams and reality. So if I have a dream, it is the reality, but you don't see it yet. You see, so the book helped me like, that's like a shift which takes place. You see, I believe that when I have a dream of, realizing this, it's already there and there is no difference. But only thing, you don't see it yet. You see? But
Yeah,
it is like something like faith. It is maybe faith, it is confidence, it's whatever. Maybe it's also craziness. But it is like, hey, this is just real. It is real.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that when you understand what we are really as people living on this earth, being able to create the earth itself, it gives you the confidence to plow ahead and do things that you wouldn't have done before you knew that.
Yeah.
Nicole, can I add something to what you and Rooney said? When you plant a seed in the ground, it doesn't become, say it's a carrot seed, it won't become a carrot overnight, but it is still a carrot. And when we have a thought, it's already the seed planted, and through our the laws of the universe, and as we walk through each day with that focus, it has to materialize just like the seed does in the ground. So when I say that I am here, and this is Earl Nightingale's teaching also, is that your thought, as soon as you think that, there's a video on 19 Minutes to Success with Earl Nightingale. And he says, we have the most powerful minds. He says, everything you can find in a pig or a horse. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, he says, once you put the seed in the ground of anything that you want to cultivate, it's growing already. It's already grown. It's just that our visible eyes have not seen it yet. So it's like we are already there in spirit, in energy, in frequency. So I just wanted to add that if for those that are interested to know more.
Yeah. And I learned something from, I think it is from Goddard. He talks a lot about imagination. And you have the first step is the desire. And then I teach something. I teach something like the creation circle. Those are 12 steps. And then the first is the desire of something, strong desire. And the second one is imagination. So now what Goddard tells is the imagination is when you imagine something, it is already there. And you can go from here to the imagination, to your vision. But you can also do like you feel the vision already. And you look from the vision to where you are right now. So you are already in the place of the vision. You are already dreaming that, and then you look from the vision to where you are now. You see? So most of the time we are like, hey, we are here, and the vision is far in the future, or it can be far in the past. But you can say, no, the vision is here. And I'm going to relive the vision all the time. I'm going to do like it's already there. And then it's something like from the vision. Can you imagine that? You are in your vision already. You are driving it, or you're doing what you want, and it is already here. But you just start living it. So that's what the Goddard says. Imagine it and then move to that imagination. Move like, hold that imagination all the time, like it is already there. He says, when you're going to sleep and you say, okay, I'm going to live in this beautiful villa. When you are in your bed, you just have to imagine that you are already in the villa. And when you open your eyes and you put your feet on the ground, you are in that villa. So it is like, you are already in that imagination, and every time you step, hey, maybe it happened today, maybe it happened tomorrow, and then suddenly you were just open your eyes and you are in it.
Yep, absolutely. Function from within the dream.
Act as if.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicole or anybody, where is the file or the PDF located for the Science of Getting Rich, the workbook one?
It's in the SOGR study group Facebook page under files.
Because I was looking in the Science of Getting Rich files, and so far I came across the book itself, PDF itself, but not necessarily the workbook one, unless it's one of these audio book ones.
I'm not sure how many files.
There's like three.
Holds,
There's like
but, it may have been kicked off the bottom if it was the first one, and there's been too many. I'll go in and have a look and make sure it's there.
okay, it's down the bottom. I'm just wanting to get it onto my iBooks on my iPhone. Okay, I'll be able to figure something out.
It's not currently on the list.
No, it's okay.
Callie, I could send it to you.
Would you? I would love that. Thank you.
I've got it in a PDF format.
Cheryl, would you
Okay.
mind putting it in the just post it on the SOGR International Study Group page, and then that way it'll resave in the files. I think maybe Facebook only saves so many files, and
Yep.
probably
Sure,
used up our quota, and it's been kicked off the bottom. It was probably
Okay.
the first one uploaded.
Yeah, there's the standard one, the regular one, that's down the bottom of the files.
Okay, it's going to take me some time because I got it on my work computer. So I have my work computer up with the workbook while we're doing the study group and talking with you guys on my other one. So
we have three weeks to go, eh? And then after reading this book, have you, maybe we can do that another time also, but have you already seen changes? We are 3 months and we have 3 weeks to go. And then after the 3 weeks, what is the next step? What can you do? You know, do you need to go to a mastermind of implementing all this stuff? Because what I'm doing, I'm having this audio and I'm doing this book, you know, maybe every 2 days I read a book because I listen to the audio over and over and over again, you see? And I'm just trying to put like this into my business all the time. And I see some quite some effects already, because it's basically about reprogramming your mind. So it is 3 weeks we have to go, and if you didn't start putting it already in practice, maybe you want to start putting it in practice or not.
Definitely put it in practice. What we're going to do at the end of the book is go back and do a couple of chapters that didn't record, and then we're going to go on to another book, which we haven't confirmed what that will be yet.
Okay. Great.
That's for anyone who wants to participate. Everyone has their own agenda, and I'm open to whoever wants to participate is more than welcome.
Mm-hmm. I feel for myself that rereading the book, every time you reread, there is like chapter 4 and chapter 14, Advancing Man, and the one of Gratitude. I have an audio that I read those books this book all the time, and the moment you start rereading it yourself, you will start believing it. You see, so. For me, I will continue with another book, but I will continue with this book. I will continue reading the book over and over again because I don't feel like I master it already.
No, absolutely not. And we'll probably come back to it too, I think.
So maybe there's 4 books you cycle through. Someone mentioned You Were Born Rich. I know Bob Proctor talks about Working with the Law, that's another book he talks about often, and You
Yeah.
Too. I mean, maybe there's like 3 or 4 books that that we cycle through.
That came up in a conversation on one of our Skype groups chats there also about doing the laws, universal laws.
Yeah.
Laws.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one, and I believe that like we have from the one Think and Grow Rich seminar, we were provided with Bob's book recommended list, right? And I'm sure that a few of those that we've mentioned are on that list. We can absolutely get some ideas from that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, maybe do a poll. But I got to get going. So nice talking with everyone, and hopefully I'll be on the call on Saturday.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Kathy.
good.
All
I've
right,
got to
have a
get
good
going.
day, everyone.
Thanks.
Okay,
Kathy.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I have to get going too, but I can leave this open if anyone wants to stay and
Yeah,
chat.